Okay, so we are recording now. So again, how we're going to introduce ourselves is I'll give you a model, an example. Hello, good morning. My name is Demetria Sloan. I'm the founder and president of Vantage Point Coaching, an executive leadership coaching, life coaching, and training and development firm here located in Orlando, Florida. And what makes me great is I am a connector. So that's what I want you to do. So who would like to start us off? I can go in order as your name appears on my screen, or how would you like to proceed? Anybody? I like when we have volunteers. Yay!
Here.
All right, we're gonna go Leslie, then Mama D.
Cover my gray hair. I'm a little casual today. So good morning, everybody. My name is Leslie Batson. I run Rebel Rock Wealth. And I am very grateful and thankful to be here this morning to listen to TADA and hear Demetria's words of wisdom. And what am I supposed to be sharing?
What makes you great?
Oh, what makes me great? What makes me great? I believe what makes me great is that I find and see the best in everybody. And I hope that I help to bring that out.
Yay. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Mama D.
Good morning, ladies. My name is Deidre Pittman, affectionately known as Mama D, and I am the founder and CEO of Tax Divas LLC. Our motto is "We work for you, not the IRS." And my elevator speech when I meet people and they say, "What do you do?" I say, "I keep you out of jail." So what makes me great is that I'm empowered to empower other women. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Demetria.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. Who wants to go next? All right, Nancy. You're on mute.
I wasn't planning on turning out the camera since I just rolled out of bed, but whatever.
That's what we're here for. That's our
glad to be here. I'm Nancy Brown, and I am a small business owner. I have 106 Photo. We do virtual photo booths, and I'm also a Salesforce consultant. And what makes me great is I am a lifelong learner.
Yay. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Who's next? Let's see. All right. So we're going to go Aretha, then Rose.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aretha Toby. I'm a senior sales manager for Care Plus Health Plans. And what makes me great is I feel that I have compassion for people.
And honey, can we use more compassion today? Woo! All right, Rose, you're next.
Hi, my name is Rose Legis. I am the executive director of Black Orlando Tech, a nonprofit tech organization, and I'm also the CEO of RL Engineering and Tech Solutions. What makes me great is I am a problem solver. That is my thing. I'm big into solutions, strategizing, and helping people where I can.
Yay! All right. Well, Rose. Oh, I want to brag on Rose in a little bit. In a little while, we're gonna brag about Rose. Rose has been doing some big stuff. I'm so proud of her. All right, who wants to go next? All right, Vicky. Hey, Vicky.
Good morning, everyone. Sending you greetings from Houston, Texas. My name is Vicky Thomas. I am an occupational therapist working in home health care, but I'm also a part-time instructor. But I'm interested in moving into consulting for some of my patients regarding aging in place and home modification. So that's the reason I'm here. And what makes me great is my commitment to care, my commitment to mentor those that are coming behind me. That's it.
Commitment. That's a big word for us, right, Vicky? Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, who's next? Don't make me call your name out. That's all I'm saying.
I'll go next. This is Chandra.
Hey, Chandra. You're going to turn on your camera at some point, right?
Oh. We'll see. As you said, you heard me arguing earlier, I was trying to get this washing going on. But anyway, so I'll try to get myself together and come on the camera. But hi, I'm Chandra Waters. I live in Longwood, Florida. I am an insurance professional by day, but I also own a handmade gifting business called Haint Blue Gifts. And I think what makes me, or my gift and my talent is my creativity and my ability to think outside of the box.
Yes, and she is very, very talented. So I can brag on her in a bit too, because you need some like customized gifts. She's got a good talent for that. All right, who's next? All right, Miss Laura, hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Dorsey. I'm bringing you greetings from DC, the DMV. I am CEO of LLD Consulting. I'm a consulting firm. I have a consulting firm, but I mostly have a writing business where I write for several different magazines. I'm a ghostwriter. I'm an Amazon #1 best-selling author. And what makes me great is that I think that I'm a resource for all of my clients. One of the reasons that I'm here now is that I sit on the board of several nonprofits, and I'm thinking that I can bring branding information back to the nonprofits a bit about how to help them. So I think I'm a resource.
Awesome, fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see, who's next? All right, Janitra.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Janitra Harp. I am the president of Liz Cakes, Inc., Food from the Soul, and Liz Baby Cakes. I also own a nonprofit, Unity Elite. We're an AAU organization, and we try to help the youth get to college and, upload videos of them. And I am also a writer and a singer. Liz Cakes is the name of my artist name, and my song is I'm Here.
All right.
What makes me great is I'm a giver and I love to give back.
All right, I love that. Well, honey, you can surely bless us with a song when we get to the end if you would like. So I don't know if you need some tea or some lemon water, hot lemon water. Well, get them vocal cords warmed up, because we like to bring out people's greatness. That's what we talk about, what makes you great. So, all right. Let's see who's next. Let's see. So Shireen is driving. Hey, Shireen, we see you. Pivot Plant Nutrition. She's driving, so I won't call on her right now. Let me see. Joe Lindy.
Hi there.
Hey there.
You see me okay? I was trying to get myself together.
You look lovely as always.
Hello, ladies. I'm Jolindy Daniels. I am a senior account executive for Roche Diagnostics, and Demetria knows that I am trying to get to that next level in my life called retirement. And I just had a session with my planner this week, and we are getting close. So it's getting scary, but I'm getting excited. But what makes me great is that I really feel that I encourager, particularly for younger people. I really like to encourage young people to follow their purpose and to live their dream and live their purpose. But I'm also an implementer. So if you want to implement something, if you want a project done, I'm your person. So that's something I do enjoy as a part of my job.
Yes, absolutely. And so one of the beautiful things, because Joe Lindy is still so young and very vibrant, she's retiring from Roche Diagnostics. She's not retiring. There's two different things.
Yeah,
I know that for sure. So he will be on the beach somewhere. We just don't know which one.
There's some things I want to do too to give back. So we'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Okay, who's next? Do I need to call you out? I can tell you who's next. Okay, Chris. Yay, Crystal. Woo, woo. I'm gonna brag on Crystal too.
Hi, I am Crystal, aka Krista Maximizer. I am a coupon coach, and I help my clients save money by shopping with a purpose. There's a lot of things that make me great because I just know that I'm awesome. But I would say for everything, I would say I'm really awesome at helping my clients maximize their lives through their money, and showing them that they usually have enough. They're just not being intentional with it. And that makes like an avalanche of changes in their overall life. Once they just change that money mindset, their whole lives, fitness, relationships, all of that starts to change. So I'm really great at helping them maximize their potential.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes. I'm going to do my bragging after everybody introduces themselves. Okay, let's see. So is Candace on, or is that Lena disguising as Candace?
I'm on.
Yay, Candace! Where have you been, lady? Okay, anyway, go ahead. Tell us, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Candace Scotland, and I just wanted to observe today. I was just listening today.
No worries. Tell us what makes you great, Candace.
Well, I love people.
Yeah.
I love helping people. And part of what I do right now is helping minority and small businesses to get opportunities on bigger projects. That's a passion of mine. And I think that is one of the major things that makes me great, is that I am truly a people person when it comes to genuinely helping and wanting to help people to grow and get better.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here observing for today. And maybe you'll get brave and turn your camera on too, so I can see your lovely face. I haven't seen you in a while, lady. Let's see who else. All right, so Alexia, that's one of the things you gotta actually, yay, turn and say something.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alexia Suarez, and I'm a marketing and branding specialist. And I guess something that makes me great is, I guess, my natural inquisition. I'm just really curious about the world, and I ask a lot of questions, and I don't know, it puts me in some like fun circumstances. So that's what I like about myself.
Intellectual curiosity will always take you very far. That's for sure. For sure. All right, Nicole.
Hi, my name is Nicole Damaris, and I am the owner and founder and chief marketing strategist of Social Bee Marketing and Communications. Alexia is on my team as our marketing and branding specialist. I would say what makes me great is that, I mean, everyone tends to say I'm a great boss, so I would say I'm a great leader. I encourage, and it's just come naturally. It's never something I really thought that I did. It just happens. And I think it's because I really, when it comes to business, once I get things set up, I really enjoy the back end of the workings of a business. I encourage my team to kind of take ownership and confidence in what it is that they can do for them to do their thing so that they can kind of be in the forefront, because I don't necessarily need to be the star. So because of that, people tend to say I'm a great leader.
Awesome, fantastic. All right, Miss Shireen, Miss Pivot Plant Holistic Nutrition. Hello. I can tell y'all what makes her great, those cupcakes and those cookies, but I'm gonna just leave that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shireen Smith. As Demetria has said, I am the owner and founder of Pivot Plant Nutrition, as well as Lily Rose Bakery and more. I'm so excited to be here. What makes me great is I am innately a developer. I love it. When I was in corporate America, that's what I did for a living, as well as that's what I do at Pivot Plant Nutrition. So I'm excited to be here. Just can't wait to get the information.
All right, very good. And I see we have a newcomer here, Cecily Wilson, the Cecily Wilson. We are telling everyone who we are, what we do, and one thing that makes us great, Cecily, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, good morning. I wasn't expecting that. Yes, I am Cecily Wilson, and I am a practicing pivot professional. That's what I am. And what makes me great is the ability to be resilient.
Absolutely. And, you know, everybody doesn't have that skill. And, you know, so the fact that you are able to pivot and persevere over and over again is definitely a testament to your own greatness. So kudos to you. I'm so very excited. Again, like I said, did I miss anyone? I see Rochelle said in the notes here that she is with a patient, so she would not be able to come on. So want to respect her. So I know she's great because she's listening in while she's also working at the same time. And that's what we do. That is also a greatness attribute. So I wanted to do a couple brags. Notice I saved my speaker for last. I'll let her introduce herself and tell us her greatness in a minute, but I do want to do a couple of brags. As you know, it is almost springtime again, and our annual Spring into Leadership Women's Conference is coming up. This will be our 5th year. So something that started off as just an idea, a thought that I wanted to bring a conference to the community, my community of women, that was on a really high caliber of content and value and greatness, but at a price point that the everyday woman could invest in, kind of modeling after, you know, like that Black Enterprise Women of Power Summit, which is fantastic, phenomenal. But most of us are like, when it's like drop $1,600 just for the registration, that's not staying in a hotel or doing anything else. We kind of like, I got to think about that. So I wanted to create an experience that had that same level of value and quality, but where you would have no hesitation. And so this is 5 consecutive years. And I have a lot of veterans on the line here today for Spring into Leadership who have attended in the past and have gotten something out of it. So I'm so very excited. The agenda is out. The website is up, springintoleadership.com. And I would say you wanna go ahead and get registered because it is not gonna disappoint. Alexia and Nicole work with me in the marketing area, and we had a reveal for our super inclusive VIP gift that is going to go along with that experience. And you can see Nicole is smiling and like, yeah, she's shaking her head like, yeah, I think you're going to like it. And so we're so excited about it. Leslie is going to be the speaker for that event. And it's called Cash and Cocktails. So you won't want to miss it. I promise you. So special shout out to Rose, woo woo, because Rose was the first person, has already RSVP'd and got her super inclusive VIP, and Rose is ready. And so Rose, this will be your 4th conference now, right? 3rd or 4th? All right. All right. So tell me, why did you come the first time and why have you continued to come back every year?
Oh man, I'm trying to, okay, so trying to make sure, yes, I have this correctly. So I went to an event with a friend and won membership into an organization, in which, I don't know if you want me to say the organization or not. Okay, it's a CEO Chicks. And so when I was with the CEO Chicks, I met Lena, and I believe through Lena, in one of the events, I met you. And your presence was just like, always impactful, amazing. And so when I saw that you had an event and looking through it, and what you had posted, I knew I wanted to be in that type of atmosphere, because that year was my year of intention of putting myself out there. I've talked about before, I used to be one of those people that would only go out with my friends. And that year was one of those things where I was learning to go out by myself, because the places I was trying to go, my friends weren't going to go there. I would have to be the first person. And so I was very intentional by going to these different events. And your event, I actually went by myself. Didn't know anybody. When I even got the VIP ticket, knew no one except for you. And we had only interacted a few times in an event, but I left that event with friends I still have till today. Mm-hmm. I met so many amazing women at the VIP event, and it was just so awesome that I've always done the VIP event since then. And your event is like one of the ones when you're making your notes and your plans for the year, and you're budgeting or making sure like you're on the like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a Spring into Leadership is already set as I'm going to attend every year. So
Yes.
So when you put, I told you when you said, oh, we're coming out with, tickets are going to be, or registration's going to open soon. I said, let me know. And then I got the little notification, and I think you were still talking, and I was typing and buying my ticket because I was like, I'm going to get in.
Yes, she is. And I want to thank you for that. So we've been planning a special gift for you. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we have been planning a special gift for you. So thank you for that. So I couldn't ask for a better commercial. So thanks, Rose. And then the other person I want to talk to a little bit, and I want to, let's see, where are you? Crystal. So the last time we were in person for Spring Into Leadership, at the VIP event, Crystal was in the back, and Crystal was like, "I need help, y'all." Rose, I see your face. You remember that, right? It's like she was like, I'm struggling and I need help. And we were like, girl, we got you. Like this community got you. And tell them a little bit about your story, because then you got into, you participated in the mastermind group, and we worked together. We've always had a connection and a bond, but that was 2018, no, 2019.
2019, yep.
So from 2019 to now, tell them a little bit about what's happening. Because my favorite story is when you say, I got fired.
So yeah, I was really stressed out, but just really quickly, I just knew my whole life I wasn't meant to like fit in this work box. And I was like struggling because I'm somebody's mother, and I'm like, how in the heck am I going to leave this job? And I did everything they said I was supposed to do, and get the bachelor's and get the master's, and I'm almost to 6 figures at this job, but at what cost of my sanity was it worth? So I had started a ton of side hustles, and none of them I loved. So I was just struggling at that point, because then I think I only had my YouTube channel, which was really, really growing and flipping up and down. And I didn't even realize that was an avenue. So after Spring Into Leadership, after I had that breakdown, I went to one other conference, and there were so many women there that did a whole bunch of random stuff. And I was like, well, I guess I can just create my own thing if they did it too. So, and then I got into your mastermind. I think that was all in the same year, because while I was in the mastermind, I got fired during the mastermind, but I had already been talking to Demetria about setting a date to quit. So I had set it at that conference in the summer, but then when I got with Demetria, she was like, you need to pick your date. And I think it was September or something. She was like, let's shoot for that. But I got fired in August, and it was the best thing that ever happened to my life. And I got to look at this VP in her eyes and tell her, thank you, because now I can be great. And they thought I was going to go black girl crazy and I guess shoot up the office. They cleared everybody out. But when I told her that, something in her soul shifted. And sidebar, that wench got fired a month later, because God don't like ugly, because the whole HR department was crying when I left. But the point was that was my release into greatness. And now I've been working for myself, and no, it has not been easy, but I will take this struggle over someone else dictating my whole life and putting me into a box.
Oh my gosh. Do y'all feel, okay, I love that. I love everything about that. That is so very powerful. And so, Crystal, I am so excited for you. So she's going to be, because of her story and because of how she has transformed her side hustle to her main hustle, she's going to be one of the breakout session presenters during the Spring Into Leadership Conference. So and she's doing amazing things, and she has talked about growing followers and influence. This girl is doing the doggone thing. I tell you, it is awesome, awesome, awesome. So,
yeah.
But all right, I'm going to transition now and get ready to toss it over to Miss Tita Walker of Tita Walker and Associates. I will allow her to introduce herself and tell us why she is great And then we will do some presentation, then we'll come back, maybe do some little debrief breakdown and go from there. So, Tita.
Hey, everybody. I am Tita Walker, like Demetria said. And I'm going to say hey to my Seattle peeps, because you probably don't know, but I'm actually born and raised in Seattle. So I know it's early for you. So thank you for being here. And for me, greatness. So like Demetria had mentioned, I coached with her and we were able to do some coaching. And I got to my greatness really through my pain. So greatness became my purpose because of the pain that I was going through and different things that I was experiencing. But when I was in that pain, what came about was I was really told, like, from God, like, but you exist because you are great. You already have all that greatness within. So I just need you to believe that you have greatness within, like you have everything that you need to move forward in life. So then that's when I really realized, like, oh my gosh, we all have so much greatness. And so that's been my like purpose, is to really ensure that people have greatness, which it also aligns with what I do as doing brand strategy and development, because I'm all about building great purpose-filled brands. And one other thing that I really adore about greatness is a lot of us subscribe to being perfect, because that was the other thing that I had to work out, is like I wasn't doing things because I was trying to be perfect. And then when I realized, a quote that I actually came up with is, if we try to be perfect, then there's no room to be great. So we have to literally unsubscribe to being perfect, because there's no such thing as being perfect. There's only greatness. And that's how I came about greatness. So that's how I'm great. So then another piece of that too is, I guess, is I like to, I build. So I can take like raw information and extract it and build. So, and probably why I'm a brand strategist. So, okay. Did you want me to move into my?
You have the floor, lady.
Oh, I have the floor.
Time.
Okay. I have the floor.
You're already a co-host.
Okay, I have the floor. And then, so actually, before I share my presentation, I'll say this. Brand strategy and development is huge. There's a lot to it, but there's elements and pieces of brand. So the one that we're going to talk about today is messaging. So I just wanted to put that out up front, and I will share. So everybody has to close their eyes for a second, not to see my messy desktop. Okay, let me get my presentation up before I share. And then let me do this. Share, and let me do this. Oops, I can't see it. So can everybody see that? Well? Yes? I can't hear you. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so like I mentioned, brand is big, it's huge. There's all these different elements and components and concepts that come out of it. And one is definitely messaging. And I always like to ask if yours is drowning, because a lot of messaging is confusing or it gets ignored. And so that's what I'm saying, is your messaging drowning? And then people will typically say, oh, maybe I don't have a good marketing plan. That's a piece of the pie, but it's not the whole pie of why your messaging is drowning. So we will move forward and get into this. But let me ask you first, how many of you believe you know what messaging is? So this is going to be a little interactive. So you can
So you have your ability, folks, to use your reaction buttons across the bottom where you can do thumbs up, hand clap, heart, all of that good stuff. You can also raise your hand there, and you can also just come off mute if a question is asked and she's seeking an answer, just come off mute and we go from there. But I see a few thumbs up say they believe they know what messaging is.
Okay, that's great. Good. Okay, so let's move on then. So before we even discuss messaging, I would like to break down a few things first, okay? So in order to understand the concepts of messaging, and so you know that not all are one and the same, let me break it down. So you have promotions, right, and advertising. So this is really just the act of targeting people, specifically to advertise, something that you want them to like buy, or even if it's a nonprofit, if there's a cause, right? So promotions and advertising is really just the act of targeting specific people to persuade them to buy something. And then you have communications, and communications is really to share. So it's an interaction amongst people, whether it be a group, entity, or organization. Communications is really to share. Then you have messaging. Now, this is what you want to share. So messaging is what exactly are you telling your people? What are you sharing to them? So that's really what messaging is what are you telling the people to do? Whereas communication is you're just sharing, and then promotion is you're advertising for people to buy. So then messaging is the whole, pretty much like the whole gamut of what it is that you want to share and what it is that you exactly want them to do. So that's messaging. But all three of these elements really derive from the marketing, right? So the marketing plan. So it's an end-to-end strategy. And what I like to say, it's like a subset of tools, instruments, processes that really helps businesses direct how they want to design, price, communicate, attract, and then ultimately persuade, right? Because you want to persuade individuals to take some sort of significant action. And even like a nonprofit, they still need to have an end-to-end strategy marketing plan because they need to be able to persuade donors to donate to their cause. Okay, so before we move on to more details of messaging, now that we broke down a few concepts in the marketing plan, which is, like I said, promotions, communications, and messaging, well, now let's move on so you can figure out how to prevent your messaging from essentially drowning, right? Because you work so hard to have these products and these services, and you want to convey and relay it to the people, but if it's being ignored, or if it's confusing, then you're not going to convert. So let's break down some things so that you can figure out how to prevent your message from drowning. So what exactly is messaging? Okay. Well, in the simplest form, it's really the core information you want to share. So this information is your core messaging. This can be like 3 to 5 statements that best convey or articulate your story and the truth of your offerings. When you have a business, you've got to make sure that you're, providing the truth of your offerings. So again, it's whether it's a product or a service or even a cause for like a nonprofit, the statements should have the key points of what you want individuals or customers to remember, and specifically, again, what you would like them to do next with the information. There's too many people who will provide messaging or provide a message, but people don't really know what they're supposed to do, or you can say call to action. So your messaging should have strong call to actions in there. Okay, so then what does messaging actually look like? Well, there's a couple different ways that messaging look like. So you have the common written one that's, just text, right? So letters or just text on a platform that somebody can read. And then you have messaging that's from visuals. So you have images or infographics. And then you also have messaging from videos. So all three of these mechanisms are very effective. However, what now through studies, the animated videos have been determined to be the more effective than the written and then even the visual and infographics. So I want to break down the videos for you because there's 3 of them. So there's 3 top performing video formats right now that's very popular and very effective. And the first one is animated explainers. So this is like a great effective way to educate your consumers or your people in a visually engaging way. So usually there's not people in this specific video. It's like some explaining like a product or a software, how to use a software without people. So you don't usually have people in it. You just have explaining of whatever it is that you want to convey to your consumers or people. And then there's the educational series, right? So this is when you are actually presenting something to folks to enhance their passion, knowledge, or skills. So it's typically going to improve their lives, whether for a consumer or an employee. And you typically will be in this video. And I think the tools that work really well are like Loom, because Loom, you can present, you can give educational series, or even Canva, you can do it from Canva. But you also see these with e-courses, right? Because, you know, they have modules and they've already like recorded the professor or the teacher teaching you. So these are educational series. But I also want to point out that you can't get educational series confused with like what we're doing right now. So like this is a live event where yes, you are learning some different things that you may not be aware of. And even though it's getting recorded and it can be a replay, this is really considered a presentation because your educational series will have lots and lots of information for folks to dive in. Whereas, you know, a presentation, it should be where the person can really just take in small bits during that specific time that you're presenting. So, and then there's case studies. Case studies videos is to show someone how transformation occurred or how results came about. Now, case studies, whether it's video form, testimonials, or even just written, are actually, I encourage, I don't care what you do with business-wise or whatnot, whether it's video or whether you just have it written somewhere, I encourage you to have case studies because it's been shown that case studies actually convert very high because of course it allows people to see what you've really done for others, the results that you've been able to provide for others, and then they're going to trust that and then they'll want to move forward to at least communicate with you, right? And then, you know, there's, as we talked about, there's the written materials, and written materials, basically you can use different mediums or platforms for that to get your message across. But regardless of if you're using written videos, infographics, or visuals, so if it's social media, newsletters, publications, or paid advertising, remember, if you don't have a solid end-to-end marketing strategy, it's going to be very, very hard to get your messaging across. So, you know, so I gave you a little bit of information on messaging and the different types. Then you're like, okay, well, how do I convey my message then to be purposeful and influential? I see the different ways you can do it, but where does it start from? How do I craft the right message? Good question. How do you? So, can somebody tell me what this word is? Can you figure out, unscramble this word? Anybody?
All right, ladies, type it in the chat if you can unscramble.
Unless you know me. If you know me well, I know you heard me talking about this, so I'm sorry, you can't play. And Demetria, you tell me because I can't see the.
All right, Rose wrote in here positioning.
Woo! Yes. All right, Rose, it is positioning. So you get to your messaging through positioning. Okay, because positioning is how you're going to appeal to your person or your buyer. Positioning helps a business, whether it's an entity or organization, understand their what, why, and how. Because of course the business has to understand that, right? Before they even can market to their people. So they have to understand what, why, and how of like, what is the offer, solution, or end result? Why that offer, solution, and end result? And how is the offering, solution, or end result different from competitors? The unique benefit for their people. So then when you put positioning plus messaging, that's when you get your audience appeal and attraction. So that's how you best can attract your people, is through positioning plus messaging. All right, so you're like, okay, that's great and all, but then how do I get to positioning? As you can see, I'm kind of working backwards. So I'm gonna take a deep breath here, because this is, there are many ways to show how to do this, but for this presentation, I need to figure out the simplest way I can at least articulate to you, to just give you an example, because honestly, positioning takes a lot of different strategies. So you can't just do it in like 2 seconds or 2 minutes. But so I came up with this kind of way to just kind of show you what positioning looks like once you've gone through all this other type of strategy. So positioning, basically you're thinking about for the market that you're targeting, right? Then it's like, okay, what does that market need? And then it's like, okay, what do we as a business have, whether it's a product or service, for that market, for what they need? And then you figure out like, well, what's the category or type? So is it like a thing, or is it like a software, right? And then you figure out what is the main benefit, the key benefit, the value that they'll get from the product, the service, the category. So then you have that to understand that about your business. But then with positioning, you got to understand too, then what competition's out there. So like who else could they choose that there's an alternative that is similar to your product, even though you have a different benefit, but you've got to be able to share like why yours is different. What's the primary different from the competition? So it can look like this. And I just made this up. So for single dog owners who prefer to meet other singles with a dog, the Meet Your Dog Mate is an app that allows you to choose your mate based on their dog's breed. Unlike You and Your Dog Won't Be Single for Long app, our product ensures owners choose wisely from start by omitting unwanted conversations due to a dog's breed. So can anybody tell me what the benefit is? Like, what's the key thing from Meet Your Dog versus You and Your Dog Won't Be Single for Long? Does anybody know what the benefit is? Anyone?
All right, I'm looking in the chat. I'm trying to see what you're typing there. Go ahead, type something in the chat, or just come off mute and say, I see Latoya said knowing breed.
I was going to say that they're being more specific. They have a target, and like as Latoya said, based on the breed.
Yes, because yes. So basically, it's you to not waste your time. And folks in Seattle will know this. Seattle dogs are really part of the family, right? There's a lot of folks in Seattle that have dogs, and the thing about it is, some people will not interact with other people who have a different breed of dog. So if, let's say, a Chihuahua cannot get along with a poodle, so if you're having conversations with somebody for 3 hours, you're like, oh, we're having great conversations. And you're like, okay, let's go meet to walk our dogs. And they're like, oh, well, what dog is yours? I have a Chihuahua. And then the other person's like, I have a poodle. And they're like, oh, well, we won't connect. Our dogs won't be able to connect and interact. So we're not going to be able to hang out. Well, then you just wasted 3 hours having a conversation. So that's just giving you an example of the benefit was for folks to not even waste their time. They can know right away what type of dog owner has. So
Leslie mentioned here, dog discrimination. That's what y'all do in Seattle.
Wait, who said that?
Leslie, she put that in the chat.
Pretty much, yes. So, well, it's just, yeah. Okay, anyway. So in a nutshell, positioning and messaging is how you describe the business purpose and the truth of your offerings or value. So you've got to have that positioning plus that messaging, and that's going to help your business be able to tell the truth of your offerings, the value of your offerings, the key benefit of your offerings. But wait, there's definitely more. Now, so we went over the concepts of marketing, of a marketing plan, promotions, communications, and messaging. Then we broke down the types of messaging from written to visuals and engaging videos. And then we talked some about positioning to help with your messaging, that you need to know your business position in order to effectively message. So there's more, because remember, again, we're working backwards, right? So you're like, okay, so I've got my positioning now to craft my message. So now what? And okay, so how do I even get to my positioning to craft my message? Okay, well, you must have an established brand. So this is not a presentation on brand strategy and development, because that's like the whole gamut. However, your business foundation needs a persona, AKA a brand. It needs a persona to connect and relate. I'm all about H2H. So, there's B2B, B2C. I'm about H2H when I work with brands. That's human to human. This is when you take your business existence or purpose, and you add your business passion with empathy, because this will give your brand a really defined way to connect and relate and achieve marketplace influence. Because remember, who are you connecting with? You're connecting with humans, right? Even if it's B2B, there's still humans within that B2B who have to be able to understand what it is that's going to help their business to help their people. So it's really about taking your brand's empathy, being empathetic by having your brand's purpose and your brand's passion, so that you can really connect and relate with your people. And that's how you're going to be influential. So when a business or organization doesn't build a defined brand prior to delivering any type of secret sauce, then they're going to miss out in building purposeful relationships, or I like to call brand bonding, because that's how you convert or make a change. Because you've got to, again, you have to develop your brands to be like humans. You just, for example, just like your friends. So let's say you have a friend, right? And you really don't want to go to that movie or that show, but because you have a relationship with a friend, you might not know much about that show or that movie. So you're like, oh, I don't really want to go. But you connect and relate with your friend, and you trust that friend. And that friend's like, no, you're going to really enjoy this. I think you're going to really like it. Then you're going to more opt to be like, okay, I'll go ahead and go because I have a great relationship with this person and they said I'm going to really enjoy and like it. Well, that's the same thing with brands. If your brand can connect and relate with people from human to human, if you share something with them, like a new product, a new service, even if you tell them like, this is going to really help you with this solution, this is going to help you thrive and achieve, well, then guess what? they're going to be like, okay, you know what? They connect with me, they relate with me. I have a great relationship with this brand. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy it, even if you don't need it, because, you know, we're all consumers. So that is the way that brands work, is if you really focus more on H2H. So therefore, an established brand helps you get to positioning, then to get to messaging. So let me show you what it kind of looks like a little bit visually. I like to use the iceberg all the time for different, it helps me describe different concepts. So in this synopsis, I'm going to show you how a defined brand helps with positioning and messaging, and of course, to be more competitive and relational, right? So the first thing below is really the why. So the why is everything that's involved with the who, what, and why of everything, right? So like why your offers, why your solutions, why those end results, why do you need that transformation? Why that market, right? So a bunch of thinking. So then that's how you're going to get your defined brand. And then you get to the how. So you discover all this stuff from the why. And then you're like, okay, great. I have all this great stuff, all this great offerings and solutions, and how I can really help people thrive, or how I can really help them with that problem. Well, then it's like, well, how do I attract? And how do I convey? How do I share, or get really, how do I have the market, you know, even for them to do specific behaviors so that they can really reap what I have for them, right? So then that's when you have the marketing plan. So everything that you discovered in the why, then that goes into the marketing plan, because your marketing plan is your how. And then once you do all that, it's the what, right? So this is your person's, people, customers, or individual. So it's like, then what? What is it that they're going to receive? So you have your why, discovered all that, put it into the how, the marketing plan, because remember, the marketing plan has a bunch of different subset of tools, techniques, processes. So that's the how. And then you go to, okay, so then what now am I going to tell my market so that they know what to do next, right? So then with that, you want them to be able to say, message received. If they say message received, then you have effectively provided good messaging that shows what your brand personality is, what your positioning is, and how you can actually, you know, show how you can allow them to know what is going to be beneficial for them and all that. So that's exactly how you want to go about doing great messaging. Really starts from brand, all the why, what, who, and then the marketing plan, how, and then what are you providing them so they can say message received. So now let me ask again. How many of you were right when you said you know what messaging was?
All right, have a transparency moment time. Drop in the comments or take yourself off mute. And were you on target when the question was asked up front that you knew what messaging was?
I didn't.
Okay, I can't see who.
Okay, Cherie says she didn't. Vicky said I wasn't far off. Yes, Cecily said yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Great. That's good. Well, I hope if folks didn't know that this was very beneficial for them. So, of course, I have to give a little plug in for Tito Walker and Associates, right?
Of course. Yes.
Yes.
So,
yeah, because here's the thing, even if you did know, the question is, are you doing it? So we'll talk about
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
That's true. That's true. See, yeah, that's right. Are you doing it? So, but we can have Q&A soon here. But so Tito Walker and Associates, we're basically in the business of helping brands be valuable and influential. And we do this by building brands to connect, relate, and achieve marketplace influence. We get there though through, it's about 14, 15 weeks of brand strategy and development. So that's how we really get there. And I call myself actually the chief disc brandologist, because I'm everything about increasing people value, so a business to, you're increasing some sort of value for somebody, right? And so I try to study everything brand and how a brand or business can really be purposeful to really connect and relate with their people. Because remember, it's H2H. And that's how you get loyal ambassadors. That's how you get people to share your information. And that's just how you're going to convert and grow. So our, I guess, special sauce is just to really, make sure that we're building brands from H to H that will encompass B2C or B2B. And so we essentially take a brand that wants to reinvent themselves or a new brand from here to there, and just really help them pursue a true brand that refuses to play small. And that really stems from me, when I was really playing small as who I am as a person. And I realized that that's not why I'm here. That's not why I exist. And so that's the same thing how I look at businesses and brands. Like the brands and businesses are here for a reason. You're here, you have a purpose. So it's like, don't play it small, because your purpose is going to really help people. And the more people you help, then your profit will grow, right? But then you're actually truly helping people. So our framework that we use is the True Brand Framework. So this is how we really build purpose-built brands with a strategy that turns prospects into believers. And I think you might have heard Demetria say TADA with Tita. This is where actually TADA comes from. So TADA is an acronym that you see: true brand, attract your true audience, deliver your true message, and then you're going to achieve your true impact in the marketplace. So that's where TADA comes from. And so with that, let's connect. If you're ready to get noticed and be remembered and achieve marketplace influence, then let's have an exploration call. Or additionally, if you go to my website at titowalker.com, and on the Brandology service page, you can also schedule a one-on-one paid consultation. It's a Zoom call. If you just simply want to organize like your thoughts around branding or organic digital marketing, then we can do that as well. And now we're at the questions, Q&A, and discussion. I will stop sharing.
All right, ladies, let's ask some questions here. I know I saw a couple come up in the chat as we were going. I see a little hand clap emoji.
I have a question.
Cecily, go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Tita. So I'd like to know, how important is your logo and your mission statement to your brand to give a cohesive positioning in the world?
Okay, so you want the truth? Your
exactly.
logo.
Straight, no chaser. Yes, straight, no chaser.
Yes, actually, your logo should not even be in question until you've done the brand strategy, because your logo and identity is going to derive after all that after you discover like the who, what, and why of your market, the who, what, and why of your offerings and your value. That gives you a better perspective of understanding what your logo and your identity should look like, because remember, you're doing H to H. So when we do brand strategy, once we figure out all the details, who, what, and why, why, we understand the market, then I'll understand the market for my clients. And that's how we determine what color schemes we're going to do. And that's how we're going to determine what the logo should look like, because we are trying to connect and relate with them. So we want to attract them. So your logo should never come before your brand strategy or your positioning. It should always come after.
Now, one of the things she also said was about mission and vision, and mission and vision is a part of the brand strategy process, right?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot. Yes. So that's part of your brand strategy process too, because that's when you're really defining the purpose, your purpose, right? And the mere essence of your business existence. So that happens in the brand strategy.
Let's see, Mama D, you're off mute. Did you have a question?
Oh no, I'm just enjoying this.
Let's see. Nancy just came off mute. Do you have a question?
Hi, Tita. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here. Thank you for all of the good information, and it's really got my head swirling because I haven't done a lot in this area. So it's much needed. Once you establish your brand, what have you found are the most effective ways that someone can use to, solidify that their brand is getting the message across that you intended?
So, well, first of all, I like to say if people are biting, right? If people aren't biting, then you might be confusing with your messaging, or they might be ignoring it. So that's really one way. But also, I think sometimes a good way you can do it is to see is you can do, I call in-house marketing research, IMR. The clients that you've had, you can send a survey out and just like ask them questions. So ask them, when they worked with you or when they connect or relate with you and your brand, what is it that they're receiving? What does they feel like that has truly been able to help solve something for them working with your business or has helped them thrive, right? So then you can get a feel that way of what people are gauging you at. And not, that's the only way I can really say it. Because to be honest, like when I work with my clients, I have, most of them are actually, they expand and grow. Like I have a client that actually had to come back to me because her brand was getting so much bigger that we needed to redo a whole website to be able to mirror her offerings and values and the growth. So if a brand if you feel like you're putting information out there and it isn't growing, and you're not really receiving those bites, I would question if you really have the right strategy, right? If you really have the right understanding of your market and your people. Because this is the other thing. When you're a business owner, you're in it. You're in the jar. So you know what your expertise are and you know what your craft is, but it stops you from being objective of you knowing really your people in good detail and really understanding really what they maybe want and need. So that's why business owners who know they want to grow and scale will tap into someone who can help them with a strategy and help them unpack it. So I'm really just a vessel because my clients are the experts in what they do. I'm not an expert in none of the stuff they do, but I can help them unpack that, right? And then they'll be like, oh. So that's what I do as a vessel. So yeah, Nancy, really, if to know if your brand is established, if you feel like you're not receiving like responses, then do IMR with your past clients. And if the information you receive doesn't mirror what you thought you were trying to put out, then you need to go back to the drawing board.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the things I kind of heard in her question too, because 106 photo is fairly established and consistent. So, but we all have pivot points in our business, right? Where, okay, so maybe my brand has stagnated a little bit. Maybe I've grown to a certain point, but maybe I might want to pivot to a new market. Maybe I want to, grow something. Maybe I want to like kind of reset. Like, so what are your thoughts around that? Because I think that's an area of expertise you have as well, that, hey, I may have come to a point where I'm stagnant now, or I want to go into a different pond. I don't want to swim in this pool no more. I want to go to a different pond.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to, so maybe you're wanting to reinvent your brand some. So when you have, okay, let me back up for a second. Because when you have a good solid brand, that brand should actually last, right? You're going to always tweak it here and there, just like a personality. You know, we tweak our personalities here, there. There's things we want to grow in, there's things we want to do different, but I'm still going to be Tita for the rest of my life, right? So you can definitely have a brand that can continue to go on until you don't want to even have that brand anymore. So there are times when you will have to do brand assessments. So maybe Nancy, you're at a brand assessment, and that's maybe when you can just, like a brand strategist like myself or someone else who might have those one-on-one paid consultations where you can just kind of organize your brain, where you can kind of share like, this is what's happening. I am established, but I feel like I've seen a dip. And then there's like, I have all sorts of different questions that I will ask you. Like I have and different things come up when we have the conversation, then just the way my brain works, because that's my greatness, right? That's my talent. And I can really help you figure out maybe what you need to do next. So if that's where you're at, I welcome you to have a consultation with me, and then we can go from there. But you might just be at a point where you need to do brand assessment, because remember, people grow and change. So your business has to grow and change with them, has to grow and change with their needs and their wants, because life changes. So maybe it is a different market, or maybe you get to understand your market where they're at even more. And then you could be the person to be like, oh, this is what they need. I'm going to provide them this. And that is why I'm saying you have to be really connected and related and relational with your market, because you will be able to see what's going on with your market. And then you'll be able to tell them that this is what they need prior to them even getting there, because they trust you as a brand. So they'll go ahead and move forward with you. So, a brand assessment is probably what you need, Nancy, and just to assess everything right now.
Yeah, and I love the way you say that, to tell us what we need before we even know we need it. Because whoever thought that we need anything, right? Like we all got an iPod, right?
Right. But how did they get there? Because they knew the market very well. They knew the people that they could target that would take that and then run with it. Because that's what you want to do too, is you get to know the specific market that who's going to love this, and they'll just become your ambassadors. That's what happened.
Exactly. Okay, we have another question here. We had, let's see, Leslie here. What are your thoughts about podcasts versus video?
So that's a great question, because I, staying in my craft, like everybody knows, we all always have to stay updated to things change and with anything, right? And technology is the quick to change. So is social media, so is marketing, all that. So I was actually reading a study, believe it or not, podcast is way below videos. Videos is what's killing the game. And maybe last year, because the COVID situation, I don't know, maybe because people couldn't really go out and hang out and meet people. But with some studies that I've seen, videos still tend to view podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to just add a quick comment. I asked the question just because, and I think you just hit it spot on, because last year, 2020, like I actually do listen to a lot of podcasts, and I used to listen to them way more before last year, because I would listen to them on the drive to work or when I was out and about. And then since I'm basically here at the house all the time, I don't listen to them as much. And I have my own podcast, and I realize that I get a lot more bites, a lot more views from my videos. So I actually just started I post the audio, but I also post the video to my YouTube channel. So
yeah. And again, like we said, that could be because of last year, but the study was from like a couple years ago. It was from the last 2 years, and video still just tends to outplay. And I think maybe because people like to see who they're listening to. They like to see how they interact, their, their inflections and their expressions and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that because that video is my world. That's where I live. And I know that there's a lot more engagement because people want to see, they want to feel connected with that individual. And there's no better way to do that than looking at them face to face. Much like when being in the news business for years, people would come up to me that I had no idea who they were, but they behaved as if I knew them and they were my best friends because I was in their house every single day. And that connection was built on a surface level until I got to know them emotionally.
Yes. And that's why, and actually I saw Chris's comment, and that's why Chris is killing the game, because her personality is big. And even if you didn't know anything about couponing, you're like, I'm about to learn everything about couponing.
I wanted to add though, I think accessibility is one of the biggest issues when it comes to podcasts, because a lot of podcasts are on certain platforms and you have to download or register or have a membership. And a lot of folks, especially with COVID and folks being busy, they want something they can just click and listen to. Like I'm most likely going to listen to this while I'm doing something else. I want to just click it, listen to it, and not have to do, register or anything like that. So I think that's one of the, from our research, that's been one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
So let's see, someone said, I am the brand. Who was that? I think it was Latoya typed that in here. What if I'm the brand? So hey, that's kind of where I'm at. What if I'm the brand, right? And so we've been talking a lot about that too, because, some of us have multiple brands, right? So Demetria is a personality and it is a brand in of itself. And Vantage Point Coaching is a brand in and of itself is separate. It's a part of me, but it is also separate. I know Cecily has multiple brands out there as well. Rose talked about, she has actually kind of two different brand things going with her business and then what she's doing in nonprofit work. So let's talk a little bit about that. When you're the brand, and because that can also create a lot of confusion in the marketplace, right?
Yeah. Well, and yes, so I can speak on your behalf, Demetria, because I know, you and your brand, but if you are the brand, because even like Dr. Larissa, who's my client, Dr. Larissa is the brand, but the estrogen doctor is her vehicle that helps her create the momentum and action, right, for her specific brand. So like for you, Demetria, for instance, you, ignite change and wait, can you tell me your logo again or your slogan? I can't remember.
Change your vantage point, change your life is really what it is.
Well, you personally ignite
action and inspire change.
Yes, unite action and inspire change. So your brand does that, you personally, because of your wisdom, because of your knowledge and how you're able to synthesize things, and you're able just to hear people's can't even really convey their challenges or where they're stuck, but you can able to take these pieces of words and then just put together and be like, this is what I feel like that this is what's happening. So that's how you are good at being Demetria, the coach, right? But then you have Vantage Point Coaching, which is the platform that you feed your personal brand into to carry out to the world. So so Vantage Point is like an extension of you, Demetria, but your Vantage Point Coaching platform is like the boat that can go and to different places. Like this is an extension of it. Like having these virtual brunch series is an extension of who you are as a brand, but it's a way for you to carry out what you can offer on a more of a global level, if that makes sense. So even though there's Demetria and then there's VPC, but there is Demetria who is the coach within VPC. And then there's just Demetria who's Demetria. So Demetria as a coach in VPC is still part of VPC, But the thing is, because you're so badass that your VPC, you, Dimitri, as a coach, just always goes off into your own personality because you just always have so much good wisdom. So, so that's really what happens. Not a lot of people have, and that's why Nicole's probably laughing. So that's the thing so you probably will never get away from coaching and Demetria and VPC. And you know what? I don't think it's confusing, because for me, I think it just all goes together because you're just a badass and that's what it is. But for somebody who, like Dr. Larissa, for instance, as the estrogen doctor, when she shows up in her expertise and her field as the estrogen doctor, that's her brand. But then she has different programs and services that she can help a slew of people at one time. But then her as her brand can show up like in podcasting, she can do videos, she can do speaking engagements. And then that's how she shows up as the brand. But then she has her platform that's able to help people on a larger scale, where she herself is specific when she's talking or speaking or presenting. I hope that makes sense. I know it's.
Whew, okay. All right. Let's see. We have a comment here. Anyone doing Clubhouse? I'm on Clubhouse. I'm not doing it yet, but I'm on. I know Leslie's been doing a lot with Clubhouse. So Leslie, how has anybody else been doing a lot with Clubhouse? Want to hit a thumbs up or something? Let me know. But Leslie, talk a little bit about you being on Clubhouse and how it has, and if for those who don't know, so Clubhouse is a new social media platform. It right now it's only on iOS, which is Apple devices. They're going to transfer over to Android devices as well. That is coming, that feature. But it's a platform in which you have conversations. So like we're having this conversation, there's no video, it's your photo, kind of your description of who you are, bio, whatever you want to set up, and you set up rooms and you have conversations. So that's the little thing about Clubhouse. So tell me, Leslie, because you've been on Clubhouse and you've been leveraging Clubhouse. So tell me, how has it been working for you?
Yeah. So I think what I like about Clubhouse is the fact, so like Demetria just mentioned, it's all verbal, right? It's all verbal. So it's almost like thinking of yourself walking down a digital hallway and peeking into different rooms and listening like, oh, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And you just jump into the room that interests you. So you can just jump in and you can listen, and you can be invited to come up to the stage to speak. But in most cases, it's a moderated discussion. You're just kind of listening. But what I like about it is, in the opportunities that I've had a chance to speak, is that you basically are like a thought leader, right? You don't necessarily have to be polished, because it's like having a conversation. And so people, based on whatever the topic is, like I've joined several have to do with like, generational wealth or conversations about race. I mean, it could be just whatever the topic is. So people who jump into the room are already interested in the topic. So that's already good. And then you have a chance to share your expertise verbally, because it's related to the topic. And then sometimes depending on how the discussion is being moderated, the person who's moderating can allow people in the audience to like raise their hand and ask a question. So for me, it's been a great lead generator, I would say. I've had quite a few prospects come from there. Like Demetria mentioned, you just have a profile, so you can follow other people. So like I could follow you ladies if you're on there, but you can't really directly communicate through Clubhouse. You have to use either Twitter or Instagram. So the person will then have to, if they want to, so for me, I don't really use Twitter, so I only have my Instagram on there. So they will go to Instagram, follow me on Instagram, or send me a DM through Instagram to find out more. But in my profile, I also have a link to my website. So for me, it's been a good kind of soft lead generator. I don't spend a whole lot of time on there. Maybe like if I'm invited, like maybe 1 or 2 hours a week. But it's been good. The only thing I would just warn people is, it's basically like having a conversation with your friends on the phone. They're not supposed to be recorded or anything like that. but you have no way of knowing that. And I would say just like any platform, whether it's Facebook, it doesn't matter what social media platform you're on, just know that the reason that you're able to participate on it for free is because they're getting something out of it. It's probably your data, your like whatever it is, they're getting something out of it. So just know that whatever you share, it's out there and you don't know who's recording it. Someone could be recording it and selling it, like you have no idea. So that's just the one thing I would just warn you of, share, but don't overshare, because you don't know what can come out, you don't know what's happening to what on the other end of the line. So
that's great advice, Leslie. I didn't even think about that. That's wisdom right there. So yes, thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Yes, most definitely. And the reason why Clubhouse was able to have, for this application that just started not very long ago, to have $1 billion valuation is because they do have your data, and data is king, and they are selling our data. Never, ever, ever think that they are not selling our data.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's how they got $1 billion valuation.
Wow.
Okay. So, and it's a lot of Black and brown people who are participating on that platform. And so we all need to know, so they know that our dollar is valuable. I don't know why we ain't figured that out yet, but our dollar is valuable. That's why they got $1 billion. Yeah, 60% Black and brown. So what I'm going to say again, we need to be very thoughtful about who we share our data with and who we share even all of our goodness with, because as Leslie said, you're on there, you're having a conversation, you're sharing a lot of information that anyone can co-op and put a trademark on, and so don't give all your secret sauce out there on Clubhouse.
Exactly. And there's definitely quite a few IP attorneys who are out there like, hey guys, just keep in mind, make sure you're not oversharing, like Kimra, if you know Kimra here locally. But yeah, so that's my main thing. I think it's a great platform to sort of be able to showcase your expertise, but just be mindful to not overshare.
Yep. All right. Any other questions? Comments, because I'm gonna break you up into a few breakout rooms, because one of the things I want you all to think about, whether you're in business or you work for a business or you're thinking about what your business is gonna be, is the why, how, and what. And so I'm going to break us into breakout rooms so you can have those conversations about your why, how, and what. And we can find out just how clear we are, and if we might also need to do our own tweaking and modifications, because part of the Go Grow Get movement here, right, is that we want to be able to go further. Like Tita said, from here to there, we want to all be able to elevate from here to there. We want to be able to go, grow, and get. So I'm going to do us and breakout rooms. They will be random. So let's see. Do 4 breakout rooms. Okay. 5 breakout rooms, 4 people per breakout room. Okay. And I sound like I hear some people signing off. So boom, go open all rooms. And you're talking about your why, how, and what. So you should have gotten something saying you go into a breakout room, go on to your breakout room.
Market. I was at Fox 13 for 6 years, co-hosting with Mark Wilson. So it was Cecily Wilson and Mark Wilson.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my home away from home.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you have a voice. You have a voice for TV, radio, all of that.
She does.
You started talking. I was like, she got
absolutely
in that.
Well, we're not gonna talk about that voice, right, Cecily? Because that.
Listen, okay, wait a minute. Now, let me just tell you, because the voice is my mission statement was developed by the one and only Miss Demetria Sloan. Thank you very much, because I didn't know what my mission statement was going to be. And the fact that Satan tried to take my voice away as a result of 2 strokes that I could not speak. And here I am speaking. So my mission statement is to inspire, to use my voice to inspire and influence the world. So thank you, Demetria, for helping me to identify what my mission statement is, using the power of my voice.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah. And you heard everybody say something about her voice and y'all didn't even know that was the mission, right?
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
Wow,
That's a blessing.
right? Right? Thank you.
that's
Thank you so much.
that's a testimony. What an awesome testimony.
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad y'all like that testimony because she's also going to be our opening keynote speaker at Spring Into Leadership. So how
Oh,
about that?
All right.
A little bit of that because so Cecily
wah,
closed.
wah, 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 wah.
So the first time, like I said, I did Spring Into Leadership. It was just an idea, and Cecily closed the conference for me, and we didn't know each other that well. We knew each other tacitly through the community and whatever, but she closed it out and shut it down, and had all of us crying, like we all were on the floor, had to be picked up. And so for my 5th annual Spring Into Leadership, I couldn't think of a better person to open the conference. And the theme this year for Spring Into Leadership is Pow Her. It's about the power of women. So POW, P-O-W, is about power of women. And so that's our theme this year. And I couldn't think of a better person, especially since she just wrote a book called, she said the P word.
Yeah, because we're gonna unleash the power of power and the P. Yes, we are.
Yes. And so I'm so very excited about that and that she's going to be with us. But I do want to just, in our last few minutes, I have a special offer for you all. Of course, you know that, around Spring Into Leadership. But I want each and every one, anybody who wants to share an opportunity of something that you got out of the breakout sessions. I popped around to each room. There was a lot of good dialogue and conversation going on. And then this will help Tita as well as she think about how she continues to craft her messaging and sharing in groups like that. And look, we got a little visitor. Hey, little visitor. So I know that Tita enjoys getting feedback as well because it makes her better. And I know what she does on the back end, so she does some amazing things. So y'all make sure you just go to her website as well and check it out and see some of the people she's worked with. So who wants to share? Anybody wants to share? What you got out of our breakout sessions as you were talking about your why, how, and what?
Well, I got out 2 things. One, I got out that I have a new tax advisor. She doesn't know she's my new tax advisor, but she is. And then I also have identified a new fundraising development strategist to help me continue the dynamic work of changing the lives of women who have fallen apart because of life adversity. So I think that was important to kind of learn what we all do and then share our resources so that we can continue to make ourselves stronger for each other and for our community.
Well, that's why I said I like to connect people. That's what I like to do. So, woo-hoo-hoo. All right. Anybody else? I saw Laura, you raised your hand. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, you know what? I wanted to say that I love, I love the sessions. I love you. I love your brand, but I love the breakout sessions when I can just talk one-on-one with someone and I learn so much. Like Nicole was in our breakout session. And so she took the time to listen to what I have to say. Cause sometimes I think, because it's a nonprofit and I'm just gathering information for the nonprofit, I don't want to waste people's time who are in real business, but or whatever. But she was able to give me some feedback and be able to talk, and then even offered to say, hey, just give me a call offsite if you need it, And then Nancy, I love the breakout sessions. Every time I attend one of your events, the breakout sessions, I always learn so much.
Good. Yay. Awesome. Anybody else want to share something that they took away? Maybe you had a TADA or you maybe had an aha, whatever it is.
I'd like to say that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, you're fine, Nancy. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say this whole session and also the breakout session just solidified the fact that you really, to take your mission, your business or what have you to the next level, you really have to surround yourself with people who are experts in the area that they are, and utilize or work with them collectively to collaborate. I mean, that's that's the difference of, you know, having your business kind of not really so much going anywhere till taking it to the next level. So that's something that I really need to work on going forward.
Okay, awesome. All right, and LaToya, you were about to say something.
Yes. First of all, I want to say to Laura, nonprofit is a real business. So it's a real business. I wanted to say that. Second, I got a lot of questions answered, especially I shared in the group the podcast versus video, because I like video. But you know, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, you should do a podcast. So I was going back and forth in my mind with that, and that question got answered for me today, as well as, you know, what if you're the brand? I know now that I need to focus on a platform for myself being the brand. So thank you for sharing that information.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Well, I will also tell you, you can do a video podcast. I am a co-host of a video podcast called Hey Sister, and some of you have been on Hey Sister or have watched Hey Sister.
Yeah,
and Tita is a co-host of a video podcast. It's a conversation with a Black girl, white girl. And so this is the thing. So you do the video, you have your platform. So whether it's you're using Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I have our wonderful vocalist Blair from the Blairisms, who was for our Christmas holiday. He does a video podcast. Basically, it's a video podcast. They do it on IG Live, but then they upload it to a podcasting platform. So there is a way to do that, right? So it's working with a brand strategist or someone who can help you put the whole marketing, because it's a part of your whole marketing plan. And I think they're like, you talked about the 4 different components of that marketing plan. So it's a part of a bigger strategy. So you might want to do that consultation with Tita to kind of take all those thoughts and put them all together, so you can have a cohesive strategy that will help you move forward.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And Miss D, Mama D.
Okay, first of all, I want to say, Tita, I am just rejoicing with you, because I know that you had some serious healing challenges, and God has truly come through. Jesus is truly sitting on the throne. And it's just such a blessing for me to be here today and to see your beautiful, vibrant face and just to hear so much life. So I just want you to know, Tita, honey, God is not hardly finished with you yet. I don't care what health challenges come, but he's not finished with you yet. But also, I want to say that this platform, Demetria, you know, I am so busy. I mean, corporate tax returns are really working my nerves right about now, to be honest. But I made a quality decision that not only was I going to be here today, but I have some of my Bossy Posse group here, and I have one of my tax babies here. LaToya is one of my tax babies. I trained her to open up her tax business this year. So this is very empowering for me. And I thank you, Demetria, for really answering the call that God has on your life. And now, whenever you get ready, I need to hear the special for the conference, because Mama D is in it to win it. Okay.
Yay! Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, so and then, well, we wanted to get Jolindy to say something, right, Tita? And then that's gonna be the last comment, because Jolindy works in industry. I used to, be in the pharmaceutical industry. 14 years I did that. And so she was wanting to talk about some of the things she took away that she can then bring back into industry, into the business. And I know, Aretha, you're in industry too. So what are you going to take away from this session today?
Well, I just wanted to say, and I told Tita that messaging is important whether you own your business or you work for a company, because by being in sales, it's an entrepreneurship in itself, because I am representing my company when I'm talking to a customer, but I'm positioning my product to the customer. So I have to have a messaging that's going to resonate with them, because, you know, with consultative selling is what, you know, we're trained on, is that I'm trying to go into a customer's business and help them accomplish something, fix something, or avoid something. That's the bottom line. When it's all said and done, with all of us, we're either going to accomplish something, we're going to fix something, or we're going to avoid something. So that's what I'm trying to help them do. So the goal is to position my product with the proper messaging that's going to resonate with them, to say, oh, okay, you know, she understands where I'm coming from. Let me work with her. So that's so just the concept of messaging kind of reiterated that with me. So you can, I'm a repetition type person, because I'm a daughter of a teacher for 42 years. So repetition is ingrained in my spirit. So the more I hear something, the more it resonates. So I appreciate this conversation this morning.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I see folks dropping in the chat their contact information. So drop your contact information. If there's someone you wanted to connect with, drop your contact information into the chat. And if you look at the chat at the bottom, like where you would type in, they're like these 3 little ellipses. You click that and you can copy chat. So everything that's been typed in the chat, you can save. So that way you can have everybody's contact information. So go ahead and start dropping your contact information in the chat, how you want to be connected, whether it's on social media, whether it's a website, whether it's an email address. Go ahead and just start dropping it in there so we can, you know, connect with each other and continue to build the community. And so Spring into Leadership, that's it is scheduled for April 29th and May 1st. And it is our 5th year. And so only for this group, there's going to be a code. It's Spring 50. It's for $50 off any registration. So whether that's the VIP experience, which Rose told you want to do VIP, there's a super inclusive VIP, which is a little more elevated than the regular VIP. But if you want to be a vendor, so one of the things that we want to do this year is have a vendor experience. We've always had vendors, but we wanted to elevate it a little bit. So on the first day of the conference, because we're talking about Power, we're going to do something called Power of the Purse, where it'll be like Home Shopping Network, where you as the vendor will be able to come on and tell folks about your products and services. And you will have 10 minutes, do your own kind of commercial, however, directly to those folks. So it's not just setting up a virtual vendor booth that you can't really interact with people. We talked about human to human connection. You'll be able to connect with everyone who's registered, just like we're talking and having a conversation now. And so all of the registrations, you get $50 off. If you act, it's only open for 24 hours. So it shuts down tomorrow. So if you have a friend who like thinking about coming, you might as well call and say, girl, you better get it while you can, you're going to get my code. But that's the website, springintoleadership.com. Spring 50 is the code, and it is only for you all. And it is open until tomorrow.
Spring 50.
Spring 50.
And so, Demetria, what's the website? Oh, I guess we just go to your website to register?
You go to springintoleadership.com. I mean, you could go to my website, but it's going to route you over to springintoleadership.com.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And then you will see videos from the conference on that front page. When you scroll down, you'll be able to look at the agenda and see what the topics are. We have some great, like, powerful breakout sessions. You'll see all the speakers who I have their headshots. I'll say that. Like, I have more speakers who have confirmed, but you know, when you try to get people to send their headshots and bios in, I gotta check and see if I got it.
Don't call me out.
Right. So yes. So Any other questions, closing comments? I thank you all so much for joining. This is our first one of the year. I made a commitment to actually do these quarterly because I believe that there's still so much value for us to gain. So last year we did a business one, we did one focus on health and wellness. We kind of mixed it up, and we'll continue to mix it up again this year, because as a part of the whole Vantage Point coaching brand, it's not just about business leadership, it's about life leadership. And I believe that if you master life, you can master business. And so my goal at Vantage Point Coaching is to help you to do them all. And certainly by helping you change your vantage point, I can help you change your life. So any closing comments?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment. One of the things, and I just saw that after Mama D said something, but every time, one of the things I keep coming back is the changes I see in the women that I've met. And even when we talked about Crystal, like when you brought that up, I was shocked because Crystal in 2019 is nowhere near Crystal now. And so when I remembered who that event and what she said, I was like, oh my gosh, is it the same? It's not the same person. And so just to see how the growth in all of these women that alone is inspiring to make you want to come back, because you want to be around that and have that in your environment, and have that kind of rub off you. So I just want to see that. I just love to see the growth I've seen and all of the women I've met over the years through this connection. So
thank you,
and Shireen also.
Thank you, Rose.
And before you go, Demetria, may I just say one little thing? And I see Tiffany on here. Hey, Tiff, how are you, babe? So Tiffany and I went through the masterclass with you, the private coaching, and then I actually ended up, signing up for a coach. And I'd never ever thought about having a coach before, right? Because I'm like, oh, I got this. But no, I will tell you, since I have been working with Demetria, number one, I finished my book. We helped to identify what my mission statement is on a personal level to expand my visibility of my brand personally and professionally. Nominated for and received the Orlando Business Journal's Women Who Mean Business Award for 2021. I completed my TED Talk. We're working on something else right now. So there's so much that has happened, but the value of it is that she helped me think outside the box. So you're always so close to it. You're not really thinking clearly because you're so close to it. And so when you have someone who is not just a yes man or a no man, it's someone who's going to challenge you and push you to the next level. And that's what she did for me. That's what she did for Tiffany. And Tiffany and her healthcare home care business has gone amazingly well. We helped to play a small role in the success of her business. And I think it's simply because of the support we got from you, girlie. So thank you so much. That was a value added, certainly value added. So if you don't have one, get one now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. And for me, so, I'm going to go and cry after all of this is over, because, I am so giddy. I get so very giddy about all of the things that I see and all of the growth that I see happening. And I don't even have words, but I know those, when they have committed to doing coaching and have done it one-on-one or have done the mastermind, what happens in 6 months, I can't even put it into words. So Cecily said it for it was for her. I know in the group we were in, Tiffany talked about her emergence. I've seen it. I can't explain it. So I'm just gonna say that if you want some of that, let's set up a coaching session, and let's set up a coaching plan for you. Yes, Nancy, sounds like case studies. I need to write these up. See, I have
We talked about that, Demetria.
I know, she's told me about it. I've been so focused on just doing the stuff that I have not stopped to take that part to the next level even. So I hope y'all were taking notes. I hope y'all wrote some of that stuff down so I can put it in the case study and people don't think I'm just making it up. So.
And Crystal and I actually went through, we were like the first.
It was the pilot mastermind group.
Yeah, pilot mastermind group. So.
Yeah.
So when are you going to do another mastermind?
So I will, after Spring into Leadership.
Okay.
Yeah, after Spring into Leadership, we'll do another About My Business mastermind.
Okay.
Yep. So anyway, well, thank you ladies so very much for a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm so humbled and blessed that you decided to spend a couple hours of your Saturday with us at Vantage Point Coaching. And with that, we're going to sign off. Let me see. Nicole, I want you to stay on for a second. And Tita, I want you to stay on for a second. But everybody,
Hi, ladies.
Thank you. Spring into Leadership, Spring 50. Where any registration type, get it. And I will see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a great
Sarah.
day.
Thank you, Sarah, Demetria.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sarah.